It's another beautiful day in Guru's world. We got a couple of stops today. We're going to pick up a motor for our RC10 before we head to Tampa. And we might be picking up some super rare bodies this afternoon. So stick around and we'll see you when we get there. All right, first stop, OAS Custom Classics. Steve's got us a motor in here, so let's go see what he's got. Brand new. I'm gonna put a little tour of your shop in my video for Wednesday.
Okay, cool. Check this one out. This one, not only did I paint them, the hood separate than the fenders, I blended it.
Blended it.
I blended it back to about here with the color because I painted the nose pieces first and held them up to see if I get lucky.
What pearl white did you go with?
It's a Mazda. I don't remember the code, but it's an easy one.
Yeah. All right, that's our first stop, and we're off to the next stop. But Cody, if you're watching this, right, that driveway right there is where I bought your Tacoma. It was sinking into that driveway. We're in Pufftown. But yeah, that was our first stop at OAS, and we went by his little home shop. We picked up our motor and a couple items that we're going to probably list on eBay here shortly. But off to the next stop. We're headed to Hayes, North Carolina, to pick up some, hopefully some super rare one-off RC bodies that are not available to the public anymore. They never were, really. So stay tuned. We'll be there shortly. All right, guys, welcome back. We're in the rolling hills of Wilkes County. We may be riding past Wilkesboro Speedway here shortly. I'm not sure. But we're off to our next destination, off to Jack's house. And Jack was a former writer for RC Model Car Magazine. And I think he sold off some of his collection, but he's still got quite a few pretty cool items. So let's go see what he's got.
That is my 1996 IEDA World Championship car.
I remember you bringing that car out. Well, actually, I was at the Dixie Classic Fairgrounds. Y'all were doing something.
That car was, at the time, the fastest funny car in the world. And then...
I wonder why that don't happen anymore. They don't run those type cars. They just run...
It's cost. I mean, even back in the day, those things are expensive. Now, this car...
Yeah, but now you run an OPREP car. You got to have a $3,000 chassis to compete.
Yeah, this thing, the last time, so I drug that out of... Well, you got the video of it. You were there.
Yeah.
When I drug it out and
Rockingham.
And run it up.
Yep.
And run as quick as the big boys with all their new stuff. It blew me away how fast that car was. So...
If it worked then, it'll work again.
I know. This is super rare because I owned a company and I never kept a car. That's a Dragmaster.
Yeah.
A complete Dragmaster.
Never run there. No
Well, I run it.
Oh, no scratches.
I had to run it. Yeah, I had to run it. And that's with the correct body that came in the kit. And then I painted it.
Is that the Probe?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that was
another super
I really
rare
hated
body.
that this body, that's the Bowlink one because it's kind of nondescript. I really miss these guys. These guys were cool as Dick's Hat Band. This was Hot Bodies. Remember Hot Bodies?
Yeah, I've got
and
an
the
Avenger.
level of detail that those guys had.
I've got an Avenger oval body, and it looks really cool.
And but I was allowed to run this body because Bowlink didn't have a body yet. So so I ran this body with my Bowlink sticker on there. That's when I had Tekin as a smoke, which was hilarious because the only thing Tekin in this car was the receiver. That's back when we ran micro switches.
Yeah.
Oh, the O-rings are getting a little old on the wheels.
Yeah, they don't last for so long.
And then this is kind of cool. That's the last thing Rick Jordan made.
That was the number one 30-inch.
The very first of the, and I did the paint. I did the artwork. So he sent me a body. This was the re-release. And so Rick made this for me. So I did the body work. That's my paint work.
That wasn't long before he actually
This is the last
retired.
thing he did.
Yep.
This is the very, very last thing that RJ Speed did was this car. It was a 30-incher. The old one was 26.
Yep.
This was a 30-incher. And Rick commissioned me to do the paint, and I did the paint. If you can recognize the paint job, it's a Eddie Hill.
Yep.
It's the old Eddie Hill Pennzoil paint job because I thought it'd be fun to do a Eddie Hill car. Who does Eddie Hill cars, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I did this, and this is the very first one that rolled off assembly line, and Rick gave it to me.
Is Rick still doing okay? As far as I know, he's got to be close to 80-ish.
He's 82.
Yeah.
He's 82 this year. And Rick, I talk to him about once every 2 or 3 months. He's enjoying his Model A stuff he's got going on and his old car stuff that he's got going on.
I guess that's where the old street rod bodies came from.
This.
Welcome to the man cave.
Yeah, and it is very much that. It's a ridiculous amount of stuff in here.
Get your hair did.
So this is the Mark Martin car. It's WCM. I did the magazine article for it. I've got the magazine in we did for it. Made a car cover for it. Made this little guy. The car was painted and decaled by Roush Racing.
That's awesome.
They
When they
did
were
the
in
work.
Liberty.
Yeah, we're in Liberty. That's the old Liberty shop. There's a picture of it, matter of fact. You can see it. There's a picture of the car.
I did a tour of it years ago.
At the old Liberty shop, and then there's Mark in Wilkesboro on the starting line with it. Won the race that day.
Awesome.
But the joke of this car was when Steve Meal and we had it at the shop. And Steve Meal comes up to the car and he goes, "Oh my God, there's a life-size Mark Martin in it." And of course, Mark didn't think that was funny. Everybody else thought it was hilarious.
It's actual size.
And then this is kind of cool. This is a Bob Glidden car I did years ago. I used dry ice to make the smoke effect. And Bob saw this at Ford because one of my friends gave it to a guy at Ford. And Bob wrote me a little letter and sent it all back to me. And
That's cool.
then there's some old stuff. So we're talking about lowriders. You know your little lowriders?
I remember
There's
your
my-
one truck that was in the magazine.
Well,
that
there's
was
my
built.
Merc.
Yeah.
And that was had quasi hydraulics on it.
Yeah.
I had to use a 9-channel helicopter radio, and the dang flash on the camera ruined it. There was neon tubes under that thing.
And it just washed them out
Washed
with
it
the flash.
right out. And then this is the truck that was all neon underneath. They used the same 9-channel helicopter. But then there was my Smokin' Joe Funny car I used to run, and then I built remember TMS?
Yep.
You took an RC10 and you turned it into a truck.
I knew one other guy that had one, Critter, that played Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, he passed away. And I don't know where his collection went.
Man, my dust bunnies. So
I had... Oh, my flash came on. I had those... I had the sheets that Chris had left over.
Oh, really? Yeah, this was the Cam Challenge in '96, and I made the A.
I didn't have driver's license and a girlfriend by then. I was out of RC racing for a minute.
But that's when gas racing was just taking off, and there was 35 of us, and thanks to Jackie Leake. If it wasn't for Jackie Leake, I would have never made the A-Main.
Yeah.
Because that car would wash so bad, but it had so much power on the straightaway that you just couldn't.
You just pass them down the straightaway and just roll to the corner.
That's exactly what I would do. I would get on I'd come off a 2, and I'd come down and but not touch the yellow. Just get on the yellow, right at the edge of the yellow, and I'd launch it, and I would never lift until the left front tire touched the yellow on the. So I didn't even go straight down the back straight. I went as an arc.
Just kind of
made
a circle out of it.
And then the only place I had to, and then I would blip it in the dog leg, and then get out of it again, and that was the only way that I
if you're on the gas going through 1 and 2, you're going in a wall on coming out of 2.
That's about everybody was doing. Also, another crowning event, Joel Johnson didn't make the A.
Oh yeah.
So I beat Joel Johnson now. So I always say I've beat 2 guys, Joel Johnson, and not because of my skill, because of luck, and Brian Kinwald.
I lucked into beating Tony Neisinger one time in Grand National class. He ran with us, and his car was it was junk. And it wasn't him, it was his car.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys. There is the famous North Wilkesboro Speedway. It is closed today. Just thought we'd take a little detour since we were in the neighborhood. And it's about 20 minutes from Jack's house. So there it is for you race fans. But we're going to head back to the house and we're going to unload our haul here, and we'll do a little outro and show you what all we picked up today, and show you what we got planned for the future. So we'll see you back at the house. All right, guys, we're back. We're going to unload our haul here, and we'll go through what all we got and our plans for it. So hang on just a second. All right, first things first, Slash. Did a couple of updates on the Slash. We'll be painting that one soon. But that's not why we're here today. First stop at OES. We got another Hack Fab Mini T dirt oval conversion. This one does have some 3D printed arms, looks like. The oil filled shocks, the aluminum. Brushless setup with a fan and all that good stuff. Another one set up as a late model. This one does have the gear diff, as I can pretty much tell. It's just a stock truck. Does have printed arms. I don't know what the difference is between that and stock. Maybe it's looks like a 0 degree arm to me. It's like a straight. Other than that, it looks stock inside. It does have a aftermarket motor and speed controller. And what we went for is this USGT 21.5. This is a Roar legal motor. We're going to put this in our RC10, the gold pan for the Heritage class. I think it's legal. I don't know for sure, but it is a Roar approved motor. While we were there, he did donate us a 2BLS Traxxas 2S brushless system. Came right out of a new in the box 4-wheel drive Slash. We might use this in a future project, or maybe even a future giveaway project. And along with I guess there's another Hobby Wing setup, a whole new setup for another car with the program box, speed controller, motor. Cutest little speed controller. It's tiny. Seems to be what's in both cars. And other than that, we got some just miscellaneous tires and parts and pieces. The world's smallest radio. I don't know what that's for exactly. This was not donated to us. What we're going to do, we're going to clean this up, go through it, maybe make a video, and then we'll put it on eBay in the future. So there's that. And then our trip to Jack's for you oval guys. Here is a 1983 Bowlink Thunderbird. I'm not sure they even reproduce this. I know Subulatech makes a lot of the T-Bird bodies, but this is a brand new 83 T-Bird. And along with that, a super rare set of Alan Kowicki Quincy's Steakhouse car. We actually used to have a Quincy's here in town. I hope these are usable. They might be. They're old. They're probably 30 plus years old. J&N Hobbies in Knoxville, Tennessee. And unfortunately, they put a price tag on it over here. It's covering up one of the decals. But these might be usable. If not, we'll have something to scan and make some mask off of. Super rare, super cool. Another Legends body, just in case. This one I'm a little bit excited about. This one might go on the sand truck. This is a rare, although you can get them reproduced, I imagine, from the McAllister, the new owners. The SR5 Toyota pickup. This is their off-road truck. If you are a long-time reader of RC Car Action magazine, many years ago, about probably 30 plus years ago, they did a Project Optima, and they used this SR5 body. This would look sweet on the sand truck, and that might be the direction it goes, make it more functional. Like I said, the new owners, Ross, I believe it's his last name, they have a lot of these molds, and they should be able to reproduce these with that part number. Maybe. And I guess McAllister was kind of ahead of the game They had window mask in the package, but I would not trust this. It is dry and crusty and very old. It's got a price tag. Let's see if it came from a local hobby shop or not, but no, don't see any name on there. Yeah, this one did come from King RC. This is a kind of a rare body. It's a like a US GT style body, but it's a Lincoln LS touring car body, and that could be a cool little throwback. It's probably late 90s. And we got a set of Motorcraft decals and some Protoform decals. Some early paperwork that was used by Jeff Bodine to make the Igloo decal for this car, because this car did come with the Igloo. Well, the real car had the Igloo on it. Well, there it is right there. And with that, we got a Jeff Bodine autographed body. As you can tell, it's been sitting around quite a while, and that's what the decals go with. Jeff Bodine number 15, and it's an 89 T-Bird. That was an awesome body back in the day. That was a very stable body back in the day, back when we were still running wide cars. With that, we'll go with the Motorcraft decals. With the autograph, we need to finish it with the proper decals. A Bowlink stock car interior. It's got a little extra helmet. Well, that's actually his head right there. There's a helmet on there, but there's one with a face. Gauges and everything in it, so that's pretty neat. We got one of these to paint for the Earnhardt body, but we need to do it soon. I say that every time. Wedge body, that's 200 millimeters. That would fit on a narrow pan car. One of the gems is the show chassis. This is what we have under one of our cars in the cabinet over here. It's just a mock-up chassis. It's got different wheelbases. You can put different bodies on it. And it comes with axles and kind of super rare, a set of chrome stock car wheels. Jack donated one of these for us to put on that body, because that was one of our friends that passed away. And he didn't even realize he had it, but he had another set of them. So we got another show chassis. The rarest of the rare, it's a Ford Fusion body. Doesn't seem like a Ford Fusion would be that rare, but these are one-off molds that were made by Rick Jordan. These were not allowed to be sold. These were only done for Wood Brothers Racing. And after Rick Jordan sold RJ Speed the last time, all of these molds were cut up. And there was this one, and I believe there was a Galaxy convertible. It has been mounted on something, but I believe we could, if we want to paint this, we could put a decal over that, cover the holes up. But yeah, you were not allowed to sell these to the public. These were for Wood Brothers only. And if you go to the Wood Brothers Museum in right outside of Martinsville, Virginia, you'll see one of these painted. They got a whole display of RC cars that Leonard Wood had built himself, handmade. So yeah, I'm not supposed to have this, but I got one. And for all that, we have to build this. This is our bartering. This is one of the little Dragon Wagon wheelie trucks. Little Dodge. I don't have a picture of it in there, but I have one over here. All right, this is a little red wagon. My old boss at the hobby shop I worked at part-time back in the 90s. They got this at the Chicago Model Hobby Show and got it signed for me. But here we have an actual chassis and a body. So watch for a build-up on this. We'll be building this on the channel. And we're going to give this one back to Jack for his display in his man cave. And yeah, so that's going to be pretty awesome. Other than that, we got a couple of sets or spares of some cap tires. We can use those if we head back to Easley. And old school BSR. The BSR logo's done wore off of it. This is a tire caddy. It's got Jack's card in here for the National Hot Rod Drag Racing thing. It's full of touring car tires. We might be able to use some of these on our street cars or mini trucks. So it's pretty cool. Got some X patterns. Those were awesome tires back in the day in the parking lot. We used to run nitro touring cars. But yeah, there's our haul for the day. Let me back this up. All right, we got a lot of stuff to put up and figure out what we're going to do exactly first. Still got plenty of projects going on. We still have the speed run going on. We're going to have some more beach videos. I know they don't do very good, but we're going to go to the beach, so we're getting some more beach videos. This week, that's pretty much, we're getting prepared to go to the beach. We're going to run the RC10 at Hobbytown in Tampa. So we got to get that motor that Steve gave us and from OAS, and we'll put that in the RC10. And I got to wire my speed control up. And once we get all that settled down, everything settles down a little bit, we're going to build the red wagon. And then at some point, we are going to get back with Jack, and we're going to do a maybe a sit down and go through some magazines, because he used to write for RC Model Car magazine. All that stuff that I remember from when I was a kid. He's just a few years older than me, but I was a teenager when he was writing for that magazine, and it was we didn't have the internet; we had magazines. So pretty cool. Glad we got to see his man cave for the first time. We got to go in and see his old setup, and he has sold a lot of his old cars and projects from the magazine days, but we do appreciate getting all this stuff here. We will use it eventually in a video. I don't have a lot of wide cars left. I may have to build that 10L we got on the wall in there to put one of these bodies on. But anyway, I appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Hit the subscribe, like, and comment. If you got any questions, stay tuned. I'll be updating the mini tees. They'll go back on eBay. But that's it, guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you Sunday.